Right, people, today is day 2 of Zenith of Power. We have 2 days to go, and this is day 1 of me deciding to go for it. Our alliance members are already plus 30 million power, so let me explain why I'm going for this Zenith very briefly, and then I'm going to tell you if you're going to push for a Zenith of Power, what are the must-do things. Like these things, you have to do it if you want to at least have a chance to win a Zenith of Power city skin. Then we're going to push some power. Now, why am I going for the Zenith of Power city skin? Number 1, it looks sick. For some people it's too colorful, but for me it's just so beautiful. And of course the second one is, and it's the most important one, the bonuses. It gives troop defense 12% and minus cav attack. Now this is not the best possible city skin, of course, because they might release a health one, and probably they will in future. However, even if they release a health city skin, we don't know if it's going to be minus attack again. This is not the perfect city skin, but it is almost perfect, and for our account, I think anything that is almost perfect is just perfect. So reason number 1, city skin is, I think, amazing. And reason number 2, around 251 days ago when I created this account, going for a Zenith of Power, at least participating in a Zenith of Power event, trying to get a top 10 was one of my goals. Because it's been like, what, around 4 years I've been playing this game and I never ever participated in a Zenith of Power event. So one of my goals when I created this account 251 days ago was participating in a Zenith of Power event. Even if we cannot get top 10, I at least want to feel the excitement in the last few hours because I always watched it. I was always a spectator, but this time I wanted to be one of those guys who are trying to get top 10 and get this city skin. So these are the reasons why I'm going for it. Now, things that you must do before a Zenith of Power, or any power-up event, I should say. The first thing is, and it is pretty underrated, you have to be in touch with your leadership. The reason for that is, for example, we in our kingdom 3394, by the way, we are in KVK 3 right now, and soon we are going to enter season of our very first season of Conquest, and I think we already started recruiting, at least talking with people who wants to migrate to our kingdom. So if you're interested, I will have a link down below. Now, in our kingdom, we do have a title bot. You just type the title that you want, and it will give it to you. If you let your leadership know that you are pushing for the Zenith, possible top 10, what they do is they make the title in a certain way that is going to prioritize people who are going for the Zenith. I think, I don't know, they just put some IDs in it and the bot is going to prioritize those people so that almost all the time they have the titles that they need. That's the first thing. And number 2, you need to ask what are the kingdom buffs? Because if you are in my shoes, for example, I'm going to do a lot of building upgrades, research upgrades, and then training. In that case, I need to know the exact times that they are going to apply the building buff, the research buff, and training buff so that I can reduce my speed up cost as much as possible. Then, of course, you need to have a lot of resources, a lot of speed ups, and with those resources and speed ups, you should go to this website, ROK Calculator, put all your speed ups, see how many days of speed ups that you have, put all your resources, see how much resources you have, and then calculate exactly how much power that you can push. This is so important, but of course, I'm not going to do it because I know I can roughly push like 30 to 35 million power, but I don't want to know the exact number, so at least the final hours is super exciting. And for sure, you want to be in the top alliance in the kingdom, because if we go to our city hall and click on this one, as you can see from Alliance Technology, I'm getting extra 23% building speed up, and again 23% research speed up. If I was in a random alliance, for example, right now, these buffs will be way lower. This means I would have to use way more speed ups, and that will of course make it less efficient and lower our chances to getting a top 10 in a Zenith of Power event. Now, what we are going to do on day 1 of our push is that we are going to get all our buildings to 25. The reason for that is there is a 15% building room. That's the number 1 thing. And number 2, since we are in KVK and we have ruins, our kingdom needs to activate the healing buff. This means between research, healing, building, and training, they won't be activating the building buff. So there is no reason for us to wait for it. And another reason is right now we do have from the ground up event, and as you can see, people who are pushing for this Zenith of Power has high ranks, and if you're going to push for it, why not get some extra gems, extra speed ups, and some sculptures? So that's the reason why we're going to push for our buildings today. Tomorrow, most likely we're going to do our research, because just like I mentioned a few minutes ago, I talked with my king. I asked him when you're going to be applying the research buff. He gave me an exact time. So during those 4 hours when the research buff is active, we are going to push research, and then on the final day after unlocking our T5 on day 3, on day 4, we are going to do some training upgrades. So plan looks good, but right now I have no idea how this video is going to end. It might end with a disaster or with an amazing city skin. We will see. Now let's do some building upgrades and increase our power a little bit. The first thing, because I'm trying to squeeze the number of speed ups that I have think I have around like 4 to 5 years, so it's definitely not much. I'm going to switch civilization and I'm going to switch to China because it gives 5% building speed. This way I will need to use at least a little bit less universal speed ups for my buildings. So switch to China, confirm, boom. As I mentioned, they're not going to be activating any building buffs, so we switch to China. We got the architect 10%, we got the rune 15%. So let's start upgrading. I think the first thing that I need to do is castle. Yeah, unfortunately, we need to upgrade our castle. I'm going to upgrade barracks. And now we're going to need for 30 helps, of course. And once all 30 helps are done, we're going to keep upgrading every single building. Let's go. Okay, I guess just sitting here and waiting is going to be a little bit too boring for the video. So I'll probably insert a SpongeBob meme here. 3 hours later.
1 eternity later.
Whew. Okay, so it is finally over. All our major buildings are 25, including the damn castle, watchtower, every other building basically, except of course the resource buildings, but the gold, because gold mines, they give a lot of power. And I'm not speeding up the last 2 buildings. As you can see, one is hospital from 24 to 25. And the other one is the final gold mine from 24 to 25. The rest is all 25. It's just the second day of Zenith of Power. And what I'm going to do is I will keep them until the last day of Zenith, maybe even last minute of Zenith. And then I can speed them up and get some extra power. I've already hit upgrade. I started to upgrade with full buffs and everything, so there is no reason for me to speed them up. The only thing that I did except the building, maybe you noticed or not, but herbal medicine. From 9 to 10, that research was going. I had to speed it up so that I could get my academy to level 25. I upgraded my academy with all my building buffs. I speeded up and I started a minor research, which is this one, open pit quarry, only like a couple of hours. The reason is I don't have a 15% research rune. I don't have the scientist title right now. And also we don't have the kingdom buff. I spoke with our king and he told me that tomorrow at 6 AM, he will activate the research buff. And from 6:15 to, I think the duration is 4 hours, 10:15, in those 4 hours, we have to do every single research that you see on the economy and the military technology, unlock all our T5 hopefully, with of course the kingdom buff, scientist title, 15% research rune, and you might think that that's an overkill, but now from China, we're gonna switch to Korea for extra 3% research speed bonus. I guess I see you guys tomorrow at 6 AM. Oh my god, I forgot to show you the result of day 1 of our push. Right now we have almost 5.5 million power. We are ranked 26 at this moment. Number 10 is 8.8 million, but of course this will shoot up pretty fast in the next couple days. And also at the end of the building session, these are all the speed ups that I have. Welcome to day 3 of our Zenith of Power event, and unfortunately things not going well. Power's now up quite a bit, but that's not the main problem because I think we can easily push 35 plus million power. The problem is, as I've explained the plan on day 2, yesterday we did all our buildings, we pushed roughly 5.5 million power, and today was supposed to be the research day, and the final day, day 4 of Zenith of Power, was supposed to be our training day. However, what happened is, 1.5 days ago we did our first Ancient Ruins battle with Kingdom 3392. This time they decided to try to contest the ruins with 2 kingdoms, 3392 and 3401. And of course we realized it way before the ruins when they drop a fort here, 3401, and because of that reason, let me go to our home kingdom and look at the Lost Temple. As you can see, our buff is cooldown. Our leadership decided to go with the healing buff instead of the Industrial Revolution, which is the research buff, because this time ruins was going to be, of course, tougher. So what happened is, since we went with the healing buff instead of the research buff, they're going to activate the research buff tomorrow, like in 8 hours and 30 minutes. This means after this one, because there is a cooldown between each kingdom buff, we won't get the mobilized for war, which is increased training speed by 10%. So I can only benefit from the research buff because I thought on day 3, they were going to activate the research buff so we can push researches. On day 4, they were going to activate the training buff so we could have upgrade our tier 4s pretty much, I mean, not all of them, but most of our tier 4s to tier 5s and push even more power. But unfortunately, we are not going to get Mobilize of War because of the Ancient Ruin situation, and they activated the healing buff. So this means we will need to spend a little bit more speed ups than we planned when it comes to training. Luckily, we will have the research buff. If they were going to activate the training and not research, that will be catastrophic, but thankfully they're going to do the research. This means we'll pretty much use everything on the last day, which is tomorrow, around like 2:30 a.m. UTC, our kingdom is going to activate the research buff. So we are going to do pretty much every single research, probably unlock tier 5 for all units. And then the moment we find a 15% training rune, since we won't be activating, like there's going to be a cooldown, right? There is no way to activate the training buff. The moment we find a 15% training rune, we are going to start asking for the Duke title and upgrade our tier 4s to tier 5 as much as we can and hopefully get the top 10 ranking, but we will see what happens. I see you guys in 8 hours and 30 minutes. Welcome to the final day of our Zenith of Power. 5.5 hours left for this insane event to finish, and right now we are at rank 7, almost 30 million power push. But of course, in 5 hours, a lot can change, especially if it's a Zenith of Power event. At around 3:15 UTC in the morning, our king activated the research buff, and I decided to start a live stream, which was 5 hours long. And if you were in the live stream, let me know in the comment section down below. It was super fun. But I will now leave you with some highlights, then I'll be back in a second. I think we have everything we needed, right? 15% research, we got the kingdom buff, we switched to Korea, and now, yeah, we're gonna ask for scientists. I don't really know if this 4 hours is going to be enough, bro. Yeah, it's downtime, unfortunately. Let's start the research. Do I have the title? Yeah, I don't have the scientist title. Whew. Okay, let's go. We have 216 people, so let's celebrate it with a stupid craft, I guess. We are gonna craft which one? Yeah, let's craft the Shield of the Eternal Empire for no reason. For educational purposes, if you guys don't know why it is stupid, it's because like these are the only 2 pieces that gives you health in your infantry set. So you want to replace them as the last things. And also, when you craft the shield, you want to have the boots as well, so that you can go up to 2 pieces. Extra 2 pieces, in total 4 pieces, so that you can get the 10% march speed. Even though I don't have the blueprints for the boots, I will still craft it to celebrate our tier 5. Every time I hit Quick Forge, it was super lucky, right? I probably don't get a special talent, but it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for being on this. Oh! We got it again. This is the 4th special talent on the 6th craft. I was just saying goodbye to you guys and thanking you for being here with me for like 5 hours. That is wild. 5 hours, man. That's crazy. Goodbye, guys. Take care. Love you. Okay, so this is not the end of Zenith. It took me 2 days to find the strength to be able to make this video. I couldn't get a city skin, as you can see, and I spent everything. We started with 20 something million power, and right now we're at 65 million. The results should be on your screen right now. I finished at the worst possible spot, which is the 11th. And I'm out of everything. I'm out of speed ups. I'm out of gems, as you can see. I'll have a few second footage from the final day, the final moment, and it's on your screen right now. I just stared at the screen for like 20 minutes straight. Then I log off, went to bed. It was devastating. Now I guess it's time to make a plan to recover this account, you know, speed up and gem wise, because I have a lot of T5s now. I have 65 million power. Tonight I'll be able to fight with my T5s for the very first time. We have Ancient Ruins in 5 hours. I'll probably stream it. It didn't happen. We couldn't get the city skin. Is it the end of, like, it was so devastating, but is it the end of the world? Am I gonna stop playing Rise of Kingdoms? Of course not, because if I could get the city skin, that would be amazing. That's why I spent everything. But again, I was going to be out of speed ups, I was going to be out of gems. So I needed to somehow recover anyways, whether I got the skin or not. And unfortunately, like this is, I even gem troops. That's why I'm out of gems, which is something that you definitely shouldn't do unless you're a Kraken. So I wasted a lot of gems. I know that soon we are going to have Holy Nice Treasure, and next Tuesday, we're going to have Infantry Wheel of Fortune, and that will be a way better use of my gems instead of, you know, gemming troops. We will have more than gems soon, probably in like 10 to 15 days or so, and I only have 10k. I'm gonna do my best to recover. Look at my profile picture. I'm laughing, but I was really devastated. But it is what it is. I will try to farm as many gems as possible. I'm gonna kill as many barbs as possible. I still have, yeah, like good amount of action points, so that's the goal. Get as many gems as possible so that I can play the Holy Nice Treasure. I can spend the wheel just enough to summon William Wallace and Luce, so I can expertise both and have a proper infantry march so that I can make use of our infantry gear and hopefully get some kill points. But yeah, I will make a video soon. Recovery plan, I will mention everything that we need to do. Well, I will start a farm account. Shit, because I need to farm gems on this account all day, 24/7. This means I need a farm account to gather regular resources. And about the city skin, I'll just use this or this if I'm extensively using my infantry march, or I'm just gonna use this 5% cavalry health if I'm using my cavalry march. That was my Zenith of Power journey that I never should have attempted. Well, at least we have T5 now. I see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.